Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you all? I hope all of your friends are in good health. And don't forget to watch this video of mine. And don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the bell too, so that our friend can see my next video. Thank you. The ignition system is a system in motorized vehicle, especially vehicle powered by gasoline, that function of to burn a mixture of air and fuel when the piston is at the end of the compression stroke. The internal combustion engine generates power by burning a mixture of air and fuel in the cylinder. In a gasoline motor, a spark on the spark plug is needed to ignite the mixture of air and fuel that has been compressed by the piston in the cylinder. Because in a motor, the combustion process is started by a high-speed spark which is produced by the spark plug. Several methods are needed to produce the high voltage current required. The ignition system on the vehicle function to increase the battery voltage to 20 kV or more by using an ignition coil and distributing the high voltage to each spark plug through the distributor and high voltage cable. Conventional ignition system. A conventional ignition system is an ignition system found in motorized vehicles that still use platinum as a breaker and ignition connector. The conventional ignition system is a series of simple mechatronics created with the aim of generating spark and the spark plug at specified time interval. Spark on spark plug can be formed because the high voltage electrical energy that flow through the spark plug electrode. The electrical energy voltage reaches 30 volts, so that with a gap about 0.8 mm at the spark plug electrode, there will be an electron jump in the form of spark. However, sparks are only needed at the business stage. For this reason, there is a circuit breaker that will adjust the spark plug time to spark the fire. So, the spark plug is not always on. For more details, see the conventional ignition working principle below. How it works conventional ignition. First, when the ignition is on. The way conventional ignition works starts when the ignition is in the on or ignition position. The ignition relay and the main relay will be active so that there is an electric current flowing from the battery to the ignition relay and the main relay. Current from the relay flow to ignition coil. In the ignition coil, there are two coils, namely the primary and secondary coil. Both coils have the same input, so that when the input is electrified, both coils will also be electric. Meanwhile, the two coils have different output. The primary coil has an output that leads to circuit breaker, while the secondary coil has output the lead of the spark plug. The electric current flowing through the ignition system circuit is only standby, and there is no change in the voltage on the coil because there is no movement in the circuit breaker. So that the spark plug won't ignite when the flywheel is spinning. Second, when is the start position? The ignition system will work when the flywheel is rotated by the start system. In conventional ignition, there is a circuit breaker. The circuit is located together with the distributor and has a distributor shaft component connected to the camshaft, so that when the engine is spinning, this component also concurrent with the engine RPM. When the cam rotates is well toward the platinum fold, resulting in elevated contact point and cause the primary current to be interrupted. What happens when the primary current is disconnected? Previously, there was current flow in the primary coil, will cause a magnetic field in the primary coil. When the primary current is suddenly cut off, the damage to the primary coil will be extinguished because of the shaft that is wrapped around it. The magnetic field will move simultaneously toward the inside before disappearing. Inside the primary coil, there is a secondary coil with 10 times the number of turns. Finally, the magnetic field hits the secondary coil, so the voltage on the secondary coil increases dramatically. This voltage is instant because it occurs when there is a movement of the magnetic field from the primary current, which lasts from an instant to. For this reason, to support the continuous ignition process, platinum must be able to disconnect and connect the primary current with the right timing. High voltage electrical energy from the secondary coil is supplied by the distributor. The distributor will deliver the electricity to its spark plug with the right timing and fairing holder.